Hello, and welcome to today's interview training. Today, we'll be going over CodeSignal's interview solution, specifically discussing the interview dashboard, how to create interview links, creating interview templates, and we'll also take a quick peek into the question library, where you'll be able to select or create questions to use during interviews. The first thing you'll need to do is, of course, log into CodeSignal and then navigate to the Interviews tab. This will take you to the interview dashboard, where you'll immediately be able to see all of the currently pending interviews. You'll also be able to switch between active interviews and completed interviews as well. In general, the main place that you'll be working out of is either the pending interviews to go and create or send interviews to candidates and interviewers, or the completed tab, where you'll be able to review any completed interview over. It's important to note that while you'll be able to see the various interviews available here today, you'll also be able to search or filter for specific candidates. You can, of course, search for candidates in the search bar on the right-hand side, or you can go ahead and use the filter areas to search by the specific author of the interview, the interviewer themselves, any labels, or if you're looking for a specific template. You're also able to go and download reports where you'll be able to see all of the data around finished, active, or pending interviews. When you're ready to create an interview link, all you'll need to do is hit the Create button in the upper right-hand corner. Here, you'll be able to add the candidate's first and last name. You'll be able to set a session expiration, essentially just ensuring that the interview session finishes at an appropriate time. Our default is 3 hours, but your default may be longer, usually about 24 hours. Then, you'll be able to update any interview info. For example, you can add an interview template if you'd like to. You can select which team owns this interview, and you can designate a specific interviewer as well. This will be the person that is leading the interview. Finally, you can lock the interview template if you'd like to, and this just ensures that only the questions used on the interview template will be available. If you do not lock this template, then the interviewer will have the interview template still preloaded, but they'll also be able to switch to other questions or templates during the interview. Finally, you'll be able to add any appropriate labels if necessary. Once you're ready, you'll be able to go ahead and create this interview link. And this is the link that both the candidate and interviewer will be able to access to join the interview together. Don't worry, even if you create this interview ahead of time, you'll be able to search for the candidate's name, and you'll be able to pull the link right over here using the hyperlink icon. Alternatively, if you need to, you can also use the ellipses to edit or delete this interview. Next up, let's talk about interview templates. Interview templates are amazing. They're fundamental for creating consistent and fair interviews across different job types, families, or roles. You can create an interview template by going to the Templates tab, and here, of course, you'll see all the interview templates that your team currently has created. It's important to note that you'll be able to see the template name, who created it, if this template is part of a team, and then the questions being used. For any interview template, you'll usually be able to edit, duplicate, or delete depending on your user permissions. When you're ready to create an interview template, you'll be able to click Create Template in the upper right-hand corner, and here you'll simply add an interview name like Austin Template. You can apply team ownership, and then you'll be able to add questions. The questions that you'll be adding here are questions from the question library. You can click Add a Question, and you'll be able to see the various questions available. It's always really good to go through the question library beforehand, just to go through, understand the questions that are available, and then make a decision on which ones you'd like to be using. Of course, when you're selecting questions, you can filter here by question type, coding format, general format, and scroll down in case you're looking for any other specific filtering mechanisms. What you can do is go and select the question that you'd like to use, for example, add binary strings. You can select a question score if you'd like to, and then add the question. You can do this for multiple questions, and all of these questions will be preloaded when your interviewer accesses the template. You can see here, we now have 2 questions associated with this template. The great part about templates is you can also add customized feedback. For example, in the Feedback tab, we can add a category, and we'll call this one Communication. Here, we'll be able to add an attribute, and this is where you can determine different areas around communication that you want your interviewers to be noting. For example, for the first attribute, let's go ahead and discuss clarity. On here, you can say level 1 would be relatively clear communication. However, level 2 will be very clear communication, and so on and so forth. This way you can save this, and then your interviewers will immediately know what different categories they're supposed to be looking at and what each attribute means. Finally, you can update specific settings to this template, and really that's just updating the session expiration. So if you need this template to be available for a little bit longer due to the nature of how the interview is being run, you can add additional time here. Once you've completed the template, go ahead and hit create. At this point, your interview will now be available for use. In terms of general interviews, those are the core aspects of what you need to go ahead and get started. Before we end today's training, I do want to quickly touch on the question library overall. You can find this in the upper right-hand corner. In the question library, you'll be able to see all of the different questions available for your team. You can of course click into any of these questions to take a look at the description, try it out yourself, so on and so forth. And of course, you can use the same filtering mechanisms to find specific types of questions, like code review questions, for example. You can also create a question in the upper right-hand corner. There are several different question types available for you to use, but this is just a great way to create custom or just general questions that you may specifically want to use on interviews. That's all for today's interview training. If you have any questions, please of course refer to our knowledge base or ask our support or your customer success manager for additional assistance. Thanks and have a great day.